Hey, this is Batsmack from Team Alpha Omega. Been working on Koa'ki Meiru's for about a week now. Great anti-meta deck. It's doing pretty well against tanky synchro and stuff, so I want to show off what I have right now. Alright, starting off with our monsters. We got 3 Koa'ki Meiru Urnight. This thing is like the star of the deck. His effect is you can reveal one of the iron cores from your hand to special summon a level 4 or lower Koa'ki Meiru from your deck. It's a nice swarming element, gets out quick 1900 beaters from your deck, which have other effects, and himself, he's a 2000 attack level 4 monster. You play him out early, a lot of the time he'll be sticking around for at least a turn or two, and every turn he's a plus as long as you get that core. So, like with all the other Koa'ki Meirus, you have a maintenance cost for them. For him, you have to either discard a core or reveal a Beast Warrior. Next is our other Beast Warrior, Koa'ki Meiru Crusader, 1900 attack. This guy, when he destroys a monster by battle, doesn't even have to send it to the graveyard. Then you get back any Koa'ki Meiru card from your graveyard. He's a great thing. You can summon him quickly with Urnight. And yeah, you just want to kill off the monsters with him. He works kind of like Full Helm Knight in that even if he's destroyed during the damage step, his effect still goes off. So like you can destroy something, like ram another 1900 beater, and he'll just bring himself back to your hand or another Koa'ki Meiru card. And yeah, he works great with Urnight. I can reveal him for Urnight and vice versa. Yeah, just really good. Next, and this card, a lot of people don't use it, but really stupid. It's that good. It's Koa'ki Meiru Ice. To keep him alive, you have to reveal a continuous spell. But his effect is you can, as many times as you want, you can just discard a card to destroy any monster with special summons. Immediate answer to synchros, or if they use Monster Reborn, you can just, on a big guy, you can just summon him and get rid of it. Yeah, and you can summon him quickly from your deck with Urnight, so. And again, 1900 attack, really hard to deal with. Next is 2 Koa'ki Meiru Boulder. He's a little guy, but he's a great thing. If I don't need one of my other Koa'ki Meirus, I'll summon him with Urnight, and when he's destroyed by battle, I can just get back any Koa'ki Meiru card, well, any level 4 or lower monster or the Iron Core from my decks in my hand, so he's a nice little searcher there. Like to set him turn 1 if I don't have my other monsters. And he really adds consistency, getting me my core when I need it. I run 1 Koa'ki Meiru Maximus. He's the boss monster of the deck. Only run 1 because to summon him I have to remove from play one of my iron cores, and I usually don't want to do that. But he's just 3000 beater. To keep him alive I have to throw out a Koa'ki Meiru card from my hand each turn, but he just destroys 1 card on the field for free every turn. So 3000 attack, free +1 right there, destroying something. And yeah, I usually use him as a finisher. So if once I've worn them down, they have a couple cards on the field I can just summon and take out something big, and then yeah, usually that overpowers them for game. Next, I run 3 King Tiger Wanghu. Every monster in the deck that I'd be summoning, short of Boulder, is yeah, 1900 or more attack, so he doesn't really affect me at all, and with a lot of the meta decks summoning out lots of small monsters, great card, just stops them. And then I run 2 Effects Veiler, just because, yeah, it's pretty much staple now. You gotta negate those effects. The meta's effect driven right now, so yeah. And being a level 1 tuner with all my level 4 monsters makes quick Catastors for more anti-meta stuff, or Trishula or Mistworm if I have 2 of them out. Alright, on to the spells. Got 3 Iron Core of Koa'ki Meiru. This is their power source. On its own, it doesn't do anything, but it lets me use a lot of the effects for my other cards. And yes, a lot of them have some crazy effects. Like this powers the swarming of my Urnight and stuff like that. I run 2 Core Transport Unit. It's a continuous spell to reveal for Ice, and each turn I can discard a card to add an Iron Core to my hand from my deck. Usually, if I already have an Iron, I'll use it to get a core, and then I'll just toss the core for another core, so on and so forth. Thins out my deck, and makes it so I have more cores live, since I can add core from my graveyard to my hand instead of drawing if I need it. I run 2 Pot of Duality. Pot of Duality, just little added consistency. I need to get that core, and I need the monsters to reveal, so every bit of consistency I can get is nice. I would run 3, but the deck's already kind of running on, it's packed already at 42, and there's really nothing I can afford to drop, in my opinion. I run 2 Core Overclock, another continuous spell to reveal for ice. And while this is out, it gives all my Koa'ki Meirus an extra 500 attack, so that makes them, like, even Boulder is then a 1700 beater that gets me a search. And my other stuff is now 24 and 2500 attack. It's really hard for my opponent to get over that just through battle without doing like complex synchro stuff or using effects to get around them. And yeah, I have the Veilers for that. Next I have, also, right. Core Overclock, if I want, I can discard an Iron Core to give all my Koa'ki Meirus yet another 1000. So 1 Core Overclock, discard a core, and now everything, I have now 34 and 3500 attack monsters that just can keep swarming the field and giving me advantage. It's not something you want to be up against. Right, I run 2 Burden the Mighty, last continuous spell I run. I run this, I would run 3 Core Overclock instead, but running Burden of the Mighty, on a lot of the bigger monsters, it's better than Core Overclock, like against Synchros, Stardust. Like, Stardust can still get over Core Overclock boosted Crusader or Ice, but it can't get over them once I have Burden out, losing 800 attack. And it combos great with King Tiger Wanghu. So I summon Wanghu, play Burden. Any monster that they summon, first this is applied to them, and then if they're less than 1400, they're destroyed. So it really limits their plays even more. Also, it's great for, since one of Wanghu's biggest enemies is Reborn Tengu, they'll just summon it and ram it. If they summon that while Burden's out, it's too small and it'll get destroyed. They can summon out another one and then another one, but they just, yeah, they all get destroyed. Now I run 2 Iron Core Specimen Lab. This thing really is, it's great because I can use it as as a setup for my finisher and consistency thing early on. What it does is I have to reveal an Iron Core to keep it alive each turn, but when a Koa'ki Meiru is destroyed at the end phase, I can search for any other Koa'ki Meiru monster. So if I don't have something to reveal, I can play the lab, I can summon a monster, I can like get a plus off the monster hopefully, or like with ice I can destroy something, and then when it's destroyed at the end of the turn, I can search out for something I can use. Like I'll search for a Boulder for the search, or if I have like 2 Koa'ki Meirus out, I can let one get destroyed and search for something to reveal for the other one. And even if I don't have the Iron Core, I can choose the order that I pay the maintenance cost, so I can get Iron Core's search, or Specimen Lab search, and then let Specimen Lab destroy itself. So I still get to replace the other thing that would be destroyed before Lab goes away. Also being a field spell, useful against some decks that use field spells, just clear them off. And yeah, Dark Hole, Monster Reborn, Giant Trunade, staple stuff. Onto the traps, got 2 Warning and a Judgment. Pretty much staple in everything right now. Anything that can run traps runs those. Mirror Force, same deal. I run 2 Horn of the Phantom Beast. Great card. I can equip it to Wanghu to make it 2500 and draw a card whenever it destroys something. Makes it a lot harder to get over it. And this thing also, I love equipping this to Koa'ki Meiru Crusader. Makes it so it's then a 2700 beat stick, or even 3200 if I have the Specimen, or if I have Core Overclock out. And then every time I destroy a monster, I get to draw a card and get back a card from my graveyard. Just gives me a lot of pluses. I run 2 Nega-Ton Corepanel. This thing is kind of like Gladiator Beast War Chariot, but for Koa'ki Meirus. I need to have an Iron Core in my graveyard and a Koa'ki Meiru on the field, but it just negates any monster's effect and destroys the monster. I would run 3, but I found that that sometimes it can be hard getting it live. If you don't open with a core, then it's hard, and a way to get it to the graveyard, it's not going to help you, so I only run 2. And then last, Reckoned Power. This card, it's basically, well, it's sort of a Harpy's Feather Duster for Koa'ki Meiru Ice. I guess you could more accurately compare it to Delta Crow Anti-Reverse, but it's just you reveal an Iron Core in your hand and destroy all of your opponent's face-down spells and traps. Again, it's a card I'd like to run more than one, but sometimes it's dead if I don't have a core, and the deck's already really cramped for space, so I'm only running one. So yeah, extra deck is pretty much just staple stuff. Yeah, like, since the only tuners I run are level 1 are the Veilers, I run Android, and I run Catastor as level 5s. And when I get a Librarian, I might put one in here just because I can summon out, and if my opponent synchros, then I get pluses. Yeah, but the rest of stuff's just 2 Fortress Dragons for if I side Cyber Dragon. Still don't have my entire side figured out, but most likely I would be siding them just because they're good against a lot of stuff. Currently I have 3 Utopias. I can't really synchro, but I get lots of level 4 monsters out to the field really quickly. This just came out, so if I need to, I can summon it out. It's 2,500, which is larger than my other monsters if I don't have overclocks. And being able to negate the attacks is useful sometimes. I will run, most likely, if I can get them, 3 Steel Swarm Roach, also. But other than that, yeah, it's Brionac, Stardust, Trishula, Scrap Dragon, and Mistworm, Black Rose. Just other staple stuff. Not gonna summon out Brionac, Black Rose, or Scrap Stardust too often, but if I need to Monster Reborn a tuner, they're nice to have in there. So yeah, that's the deck. Really good against the meta. Gives Tengi Synchro a run for its money. Especially once I side deck stuff. Side decking Koa'ki Meiru Dragos against light and dark decks, and Summon Limit. Summon Limit shuts down a lot of the meta right now. This deck's only going to be summoning once or twice per turn anyway, and so many of the top synchro decks, they're like summon a material, summon another material, and then synchro, and then summon out more materials. And like, Summon Limit limits them to 2 summons per turn, so they can only get out the materials can't synchro right then, and by that point I'll just kill them off. So yeah, good anti-meta deck. Yeah, and lots of big beaters, hard to get over.